Alright guys, now I just want to talk about people that try to say that you have to date a certain type of man or woman if you look a certain way or if you're a certain way. Now, I know this is going to be like, people are going to be like, obviously, if you're not a beauty queen, you don't date beautiful people, but that's not necessarily true. I've seen so many times where beauty queens date men that are not as attractive or vice versa. And I don't think, I mean, yes, we all, and this creator is good. I mean, we can all debate what he's saying, and it kind of brings up conversation that maybe people don't want to bring up. And some people might be like, well, I want to date someone good, so this guy's telling good things. There's value in some of the things he's saying, but in general, I think, I mean, I like watching creators like that because they go against the grain and they give you something to think about and talk about. So I like watching creators like that. But in general, he's basically saying to this poor woman that she can't get someone above average, even though she's only rating herself a 6 and she just wants someone above average. Now, there's no harm in wanting someone above average, and she's a cute girl. I mean, she's adorable. She's not even that big. Like he says, she's obese, so she can't find a man. But she looks good. She's not super huge. She's a thin enough girl. She's a pretty girl. She's got a really good face. And that just reminds me of like when they had Star Search. Remember the show Star Search and Tiffany that sings I think We're Alone There got on there, and she got famous, but that show she lost. You know what I mean? Like some people might think she's not good, whatever, but then she goes on to be famous, right? So it's just like in the dating world. And this girl, I mean, she's a pretty girl. I mean, she has a nice face. I've seen people that lose weight that look like her that are like supermodels at the end of that, right? So at the end of the day, and this guy, I mean, he can talk about what he wants, and if she wants to take his advice or she doesn't, it's up to her. Hopefully she's smart enough to know that not every 10 wants to date a 10. But but in general, he's basically saying she has no choice but to date someone below average. And he uses her kids too, which I mean, yes, there's a lot of guys that don't want to have kids in the mix. There's a lot of guys that don't feel comfortable raising somebody else's kids. That makes sense. But I've seen so many people that have kids that date all over the place, right? And so, I mean, and they have a lot of options, right? I mean, I just think, to say to someone, and I mean, it's an alternative thought, right? Because there's a lot of women out there that say, I can date anyone I want, whatever. And sometimes they just act too arrogant, and you think, well, maybe they can't, right? Because they're so full of themselves, and they are just so arrogant, yet they don't offer anything but trying to take money, whatever. There's that. I think it's the anti-argument to that, which makes sense. I mean, yes. Sometimes you're just like fed up with that because you're like, who are you to say that? You're dissing men, right? It's gotten to the point where like dissing men and women is a common thing, and we use looks and money to belittle and berate them. But in general, there are so many people that date that maybe we would think wouldn't date. But like if you look at the real world and not the social media world, a lot of people date, a lot of people have partners, a lot of people have partners that are surprisingly good looking or surprisingly less attractive, whatever. It's not like the social media world where they talk about, oh, you fit this standard, you can't be this, you can't date that. Theoretically it seems like you can't do that, whatever. But I've seen it so many times that people defy it or whatever, don't follow it, and they live successfully. Like, look at that I forget how old she is, 77 years old woman, and she's dating that guy, and he's super young, he looks great, she's very wrinkled, and she's 77. You know what I mean? Like, people like what they like, right? You can't take that away from them, right? So you can't, people fall in love with whatever. You can't decide what people fall in love with. Now, the only thing that's actual fact is that beautiful people that are conventionally the standard, that are thinner, usually, there's some pretty good-looking overweight people that are thinner and that are very pretty, they're usually the ones that are sought out the most. They're usually the ones that get all the attention in general. But that's not to say that somebody that's overweight, less attractive than a beautiful bombshell, can't find the most gorgeous man on earth. It's a one-on-one decision that people make, that they decide. Some people don't like high maintenance women or women that spend time on their looks. they just tire of it, right? So you can't decide what somebody wants. I've actually met this one guy. He was like so good looking, and he likes women that are chubby and don't look like me, right? You know what I mean? Like it happens, right? So, I mean, yes, maybe it's the anomaly and that's his point, but to make someone feel that bad. I mean, she was only, like the girl that he was talking about was only saying she was a 6 and wanted someone above average, right? I mean, saying she actually looked better than a 6 in my opinion because she was a cute lady. She looked adorable. She had nice skin. She had a youthful look. She was a pretty girl. Even though she was slightly overweight, but she really wasn't that much overweight, right? Anyway, thank you guys. Bye now.